Hi, I'm Trevor Conquergood. Welcome to this video, which is going to be specifically how to do the install to the latest build of the Floriani software. And the reason I'm recording a video is if you've been updating your FTCU software for years, this particular install is just slightly different, and I thought I would make a video to kind of help with it. So first of all, this is me running the sort of most recent current version that everybody already should have. This is 3561, and it was released in the spring of 2019. And so I'm going to need to close the program before I can install, the latest update. And what we'll do is we'll just close the program. And I'm not going to bother saving any of the designs I'd have on my screen. I just kind of had it up there for a little title guide. And then obviously the first step is going to be to download the latest version. And this is actually not going to be completely accurate because I have yet to actually release the latest version. And so this is going to show me the pages as they are now. But basically, when you visit the Floriani Software Club, you'll see a page that says, download the latest version. And we just want to go ahead and click on that. And that actually changes you to the actual page where the download is available. And so this is actually the download for 3561. By the time you receive my email and this video, then that will have been updated to be 3655. And so to begin the download, you simply need to click on this link right here. And when I click on it, I just want you to notice at the bottom of my screen, this little bar comes up. I guess this could be slightly different depending on what version of Windows that you run and perhaps what web browser you use. But I'm simply using like Internet Explorer to browse the internet, and I have Windows 10. Anyhow, whenever you click on a file to download, Windows is going to prompt you, what do you want me to do with this, is what it's saying. And so do you want to run it or do you want to save it? Well, whenever I download my installs for my software, I usually save them. And if you simply click on the button that says save, it will go to a folder in Windows called Downloads. If you want to choose where you save it to, maybe you've got a different location, you click on the little arrow, up arrow, and it allows you to choose Save As. And if you choose Save As, it'll come up with a window and allow you to browse around, and you see how I've created a folder on my computer that has all of the install updates for 2019 fall. Anyhow, you can choose where to save your download. It doesn't matter to me. Essentially, once you've installed it, you probably don't need to keep the actual, install exe file. That said, some people do like to keep them in case they ever want to reinstall or even go backwards to a previous version. And so I often save mine. So go ahead and do that as you like, but either way, you're going to need to either save it or run it to be able to, I guess, begin this installation process. So basically, I'll just kind of advance to sort of starting assume that I have clicked on this button, chose save, and it has saved, and then I'll just come back with the opening of that file. Okay, so continuing on with the process, now that I've downloaded the latest version, the 3655, I have a folder on my computer that has the file that's needed to go ahead and install. And so at this point, I simply need to double click on that file. If you're not sure how to find it, essentially, like I said in the previous step, if you chose save, it'll probably be found under your Windows in a folder called Downloads. But what I did was chose Save As and created a folder, for the Floriani software as part of my 2019 updates. And so that's kind of how I've arrived at this folder. And I guess a part that I didn't get to show would be when you got to the end of that download step, that little window that was at the bottom that said run and save, the word run becomes open. So once you finish downloading it, open means open up Windows File Explorer and show me the file that I've downloaded. And so essentially that's where I'm sitting now. I've got Windows File Explorer open. There's the file that I've downloaded. And so to install it, I need to double click. And this essentially starts this process. It asks me to allow, this is Windows, just asking me to verify that I trust the file. And obviously, you've downloaded it from our website and you should trust us by now, so you say yes. And now it goes through and it actually does the installation. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up was because there's a couple of small things that happen. This update is actually a fairly significant update. Part of the reason is because we've been able to incorporate some of our other softwares into the Floriani embroidery software. And so, you know, for anybody that happens to own any of our other programs like Total Quilter, we're actually installing everything all at one time. It doesn't mean you have to own Total Quilter. It just means this install is a little bit different. Okay, so when you've clicked on that and it's doing the installation, it comes to this little installation sort of wizard, and it's step by step. So the first selection is simply to say next. So yes, we want to, you know, continue installing this. You have to agree to the terms and conditions of the user agreement. And so simply, you know, go ahead and read as much as you want, print it off if you like, but you need to say that you accept the terms and conditions. And you say next. Now, if you want to put a username and organization in here, you can. Otherwise, just simply say next. And then finally, if you're installing the software, I recommend doing a complete installation. A custom installation gives the user the ability to, I guess, select parts of the software that they don't want to install. This is something that I've rarely, if ever, even used. I simply do a complete update. And I say next. And now, sort of one last question, which is, are you ready to do everything? And so it's like the here we go button, say install. So now it's going ahead and it's actually changing. One of the things that changes is that where the software gets installed, gets installed into a folder that's called Floriani software. And so in the past, it was installed into a different folder called FTCU software. And so you still have FTCU software, and it's still the sort of top of the line in, you know, Floriani world. But the folder structure makes it just slightly different from previous updates. And so that's kind of why I wanted to go over this. There's one small hiccup that after we're finished the installation, I will demonstrate to you what I mean and help you kind of figure out exactly how you do resolve that. So, okay, I'll get to that in just a moment. So you can see it's finished the installation now, and I simply need to say finish to complete the whole process. And so at this point, it's done. And if I was to, for example, minimize my window right now, and I guess any other windows I might have going and going. Okay, so notice now that I ended up with two desktop shortcuts to the software. One of them is for Floriani Total Control U, and the other one is for Floriani software. And this is the little hiccup that I was talking about, because the new software is actually simply called Floriani software. And if you own FTCU, then when you open it, you'll get FTCU. If you own Fusion, then when you open it, you will get Fusion. And Fusion is simply a halfway point for the Floriani software. In other words, it's a new software that has, you know, not all of the tools and capabilities of FTCU. It has obviously the most important core tools. Anyhow, I think what's important for you to understand is right now, if you click on your link for Total Control U, it's going to tell you that the program no longer exists. And that's because the correct link to use is the new one that says Floriani software. And so when I click on it, it literally says, do you want to delete this shortcut? And it's exactly the same thing if you use your Windows Start menu to like start your software. The link in your Windows Start menu will also be kind of like a broken link. And literally what you want to do is, yes, just delete it. See, and then it'll go away. Now, if this is the one that you'd rather have, this is now the one that you need to use. And if you would like to make sure that it's like, for example, pinned on your, you know, Windows Start bar, then you can right click on top of it. And from within here, you have the ability to pin it to the start, or unpin it from the start. So I guess I've already got it pinned to the start. So it's going to ask me if I want to unpin it. But I guess the point is that's how you update the software. So at this point now, if I go ahead and double click on Floriani software, it's going to open up with the latest build of the software, 3655. And you'll notice right away that it got significant changes. First of all, I'll just close the My Floriani Today page. You'll notice that because I also have Floriani Total Quilter installed on my software, all of the Total Quilter tools have become available to me. And so there are a number of other videos that I have recorded today that you will enjoy watching. I just wanted to quickly demonstrate. If I look now in my custom shapes library, all of the custom shapes, all of the assets that I previously had in my 3561 build have been moved over and now exist in my 3655 build. So essentially, it isn't that much of a different of a process that you've done in the past, but I wanted to record a video because I really felt like the desktop icon changing was going to confuse people. And certainly if you have any questions on how to do the installation, or if you need any help at all, then the most important thing to do is to reach out to our technical support group. If you have the software installed and you can open it, well, then you can go under help and you can click on support ticket to access our support desk. If you are having any troubles, I suggest you visit the Floriani website and you can either call us toll free, or really the best way to get technical support is to use the technical support tickets, just because it really allows us to be sort of track that we've helped you and make sure that you get the help you need. But either way, we want to make sure it's a smooth process for you to update to the latest version. And if you need any help at all, please feel free to reach out. But I hope this video was helpful in helping you go through the process of doing the installation. So thanks for listening. Have a wonderful day, and bye-bye.